Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. How are you guys? Everyone good and great? Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Is your voice loud and clear? Yes, can anybody open up the mic and tell me is the voice clear? Everything okay, nice. Girls can keep today the camera off because I'm having only one screen and I'm recording the session. If you're not comfortable, because I put it for YouTube for the revision purposes, girls can keep the off because I'm using only one screen today. Rest of the boys, keep your camera on quickly as possible. So today we talk about the JavaScript. In JavaScript, we talk about a lot of things today. Okay, we'll talk about the functions. We talk about the if-else's. We talk about the switch cases. We'll see if you want to pass something to the function, if you want to return something from the function, how we actually gonna do these things. Okay. Admit. Let me quit all the apps here. Okay, I don't need this one. Let me. Can you see my screen? Not yet. Rabi Mir can Sahil Nisar Khan. Where is your camera off? Ifla can keep camera off, no issues. Pir Kurat can keep camera off for a while, no issues today. But the boys will keep the camera on. Okay. So let's get started, okay? Let me show you one quick stuff why JavaScript and all is on. 1 second. Zamp. Apache. I have not actually shared this share screen. Where is it here? Okay, we got entire screen. Let me share it. Hope the screen is coming. You see here we got the on the servers, the backend stuff. Stop all. Start all. If I open the VS Code, I go to the file. I just want to give the quick understanding of JavaScript and CSS and HTML and all. Just 2 minutes to make you understand properly. So I will say open folder. I go to the applications. I go to the XAMPP somewhere, Apache server somewhere. Status. It has to be here. In the htdocs is a root folder of the web server, and here I got one folder login p. Yeah, yesterday I was working on it. Yes. You see this guy here, okay, and what is this all about? I will show you what is this project, and we cut its CSS and we cut its then anybody come up? Admit all. You see, I open up this. I open up the local host. That is my web server. Then login, and there is a login.php. And now you see this guy here, the project here. It is the look and feel is given by the CSS. And for example, if I go to the register page, but Ahmed Mir, let me admit this guy. If we go to the register page, right, and I put the password here, and you see here comes up the crying babies, that which is telling me that you are at least one uppercase letter. So if I pay one uppercase letter, now this guy is dancing, right? So who is doing this? It's the JavaScript doing this. Now if I put the one lowercase letter, so the another guy will start dancing. If I put a one digit here, I'm pressing 1, now this guy dancing. Special character, if I put a one special character, say for example at the rate, now this guy is dancing too. Now we need 8 characters, so we need to put up many characters here. When we are done with the 8 characters, it's telling me it's very strong password, and everybody is dancing, everybody is happy. Even very strong is dancing here, clapping here. Okay, the bunny is clapping here. So who is doing this is the JavaScript, right? You need to understand what is going on. So if I go to the project here, I have, for example, this reg.php, right? This one. Here, I cut the CSS. If I have the CSS here somewhere, where is the CSS? This one. Okay, I gonna cut it. I put it, comment it, command / to comment it. I go to the page, back to that page. Okay, let's see what's happening to it. The whole look and feel is gone. Why? Why the look and feel is gone? Can you tell me? Because I cut the CSS. Because CSS is the look and feel. But whatever was on the page, it is still here. Can you see the screen? Is the screen visible? Okay. See, whatever the elements I had before, they are all here. Everything is here. But it is just ugly. Because HTML is very ugly. But HTML is like a skeleton. So if you put X-ray on me and you see my skeleton, definitely I will be ugly. You know, there will be no colors, there will be nothing else, right? But you put up the CSS, you know, you go here, you put up the CSS back. I just uncomment it, okay? And you go here to the page, you know, and you just refresh, and you see all those elements which was in the HTML are still there, but that look and that feel is given by the CSS. And if I go in the page bottom where the body ends, I got the script tag which is telling me where the JavaScript is, and I just comment the JavaScript. Now what will happen is look and feel is there, but if I go to the password, okay, let me refresh it again. I go to the password and I try to write something, those things which are telling me those dancing babies and all, they are gone, because now the JavaScript is removed. So JavaScript will give, is like a soul, the brain, which will help you to do things. But the look and feel, the beauty, the aesthetics is done by the CSS. Hope everybody is clear with that. I don't know your status of your learning, so that's why I just gave it a little 2 minute, 3 minute or 5 minute maybe we had taken it to give you the understanding of where the CSS and JavaScript lies. Now let's go ahead and just create a new create a new folder, open folder. I go to the, say for example to desktop, I just create new folder, okay? I call it something. I call it JS fun, JavaScript functions. I create it, I open it, so I got a brand new here thing. Here I created one file, call it index.html, and if you are doing with me, do with me, no problem. You're gonna have one more thing called script.js. I'm creating a couple of files here in the index.html. You go ahead and put an element, give it a go, and it will give you the body and all. And here in the document you say learning stuff, JavaScript stuff. Okay, in the body what I do here is I create an h1 tag. In the element you don't have to write tag and then h1, just press H and press enter, you're done. And in the h1 I'm saying click the button below, to learn stuff. Okay, I'm just giving it just a random thing, and in the h1, below the h1 I am putting up one button. So I am saying input : button, so it will give me the button. The value is click me please maybe. Okay, and I just go live and try to see what's happening. I got click the button below to learn stuff. Now if you want to have a look and feel and all those things, you can put up a tons of CSS on it. So we are not here for the CSS, we are for JavaScript here. So what I am doing here is on the click of this, something should happen. A JavaScript should fire. Okay? Is that clear what I'm saying? On the click of a button, a JavaScript should fire up, and that too where I will learn the functions. Is everybody clear with that? What I'm trying to do? Good. You can open the mics and speak up. So what I am doing here is on the button, I say on click. I say here on click. So what are you gonna do on click? I'm saying, bro, give me some function, call some function, name it fun, where I gonna have fun. So I'm saying when you click the button, call that function fun. Call the function fun. But is fun somewhere? So we need to create function somewhere. And the function is a function. So it's not kind of a CSS, it's not HTML. Because HTML, CSS, they're markup. They can't do the functions and if-else's and for loops and all. It can't do that. But your JavaScript has a power to do that. But you must understand one thing. If you want to be a web developer, JavaScript is what you need to learn. Rest, it is easy. JavaScript is the actual thing. Now, what I do here is I go to the script. I created the script here. I go here and I go ahead and create a function here called function. Function fun. This fun. I'm creating the same function here. Anybody not getting, please ask me the question. No problem, I will be telling you. Alert, and then here I will say, hey, I don't know what I say here. Hey, dude, gotcha functions. Maybe. I don't know what. Right? So I'm telling him that this function, and the function is called, this should fire up the alert box. But the thing is that first I need to link this script file with my index file. So I go to the body, okay, and I have here the script tags :source. In a source, I just put up this script file, okay, the script.js. Now this is linked, bingo. Now if I click the click me, it should fire. It is firing that function. Hey dude, gotcha functions, right? So what I'm doing, I'm having a button. I'm having a button here, okay, in the HTML. When the button is clicked, so I'm saying on click, what are you gonna do? You're gonna run some JavaScript. So JavaScript, which one? A function whose name is fun. So where is it? It's in a script file. So before you can do that, link that script file with your file. For example, you must have done the C at least. You say printf, but where is printf? That is in standard input output header file. So you gotta say hash include header file. Same way, where is the function? It is in a script file, JavaScript file, .js. So you link it first. Okay, you will link it. So what are you gonna do after the clicking? So when you click, that function will be called. In the function, we have only one thing, that's the alert box. This is the box that's called the alert. And wherein whatever you put inside, that will be like a message here. Right, sir? Clear? Everybody clear with this thing? Let me close this thing. Let me close this one also. Let's keep only this one. Everybody clear with what I'm saying? But now, okay, thank you. But now I want to put something, I want to pass something to this function, right? And I want to pass something to this function, and I want to catch something here, okay? Because you know, the functions, you can pass something to the function, and you can get something from the function, right? You can return from the function. The functions you can pass, you can return. So now I'm passing something to the function. What I'm gonna pass here is, I just want to pass here a new date. I got a date object because I told you everything is an object. We have primitive data types, we have trivials, and rest is everything object. We have a date object. So I'm passing the date to it, okay? Now I'm passing a date function to it. So you're gonna copy here. So what do you do? What do you do to copy? Anyone tell me? For example, normal functions in your C, etc., or Java, which are statically, here we have dynamic type. So in dynamically typed language, we don't need to create the data type first to the variable, right? In statically typed variables, we need to first say int a, okay? String s. But here we don't need to. So that means I am sending some variable. You just put up some variable. The JavaScript will figure out what is it automatically. So if you are passing this guy here to this function you're passing the new date. So it will be copied here. Say for example I put up here maybe I call it day or D, just D, simple D. So what will happen? Whatever the date was, whatever the data type of date is, the JavaScript will automatically assign D that data type. So if I alert here D, if I alert here this D here, maybe I say D is having and concatenate it with the D, right? So what I'm doing here now is I go here, I click it, and you can see D is having, what is it having? The whole date stuff. It's having because date object will tell you what is today's total date, which is having the day, the month, the 9-digit month, then the year, then the time, then the GMT, then how many hours to the GMT you are, we are, Indian Standard Time is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of the global time आपका है, okay? What's called a Zulu time. जो Zulu time आपका है, you just Google the Zulu time. You should know this, being a programmer, because your program may be run in the America. They have different time zone, right? Yesterday, one of my friends, she also joined my evening classes. She happened to be in America. I told him what is the, because उसने पहली बार वेब कैमरा खोला. So वहाँ पे डे था, हमारे 9:30 बज गए, हमारे बज गए थे 9:15 9:20, उसके सुबह के 9 बजे थे. So that means if you are trying to put up a date and you use the GMT plus 5, because our Indian time is GMT plus 5 hours and 30 minutes, but theirs is different. So that means we have different functionality so that your program can work globally. So Zulu time is what you should see from the Google. What is the Zulu time, right? So that you can program your code as per everybody in the globe. So you can switch up from as per the GMT. Anyways, so what I'm doing here right now is that I pass this function a date, but I don't want to. What else if I want to, what else if I want to put only the, इसमें सिर्फ मुझे एक ही चीज़ चाहिए, वो है day, the number part. यानी कि ये जो मेरा Saturday है ना, Saturday, ये जो sat इसने कहा sat, इसके बदले मुझे को 6 आना चाहिए, खाली उतना इसमें से मुझे निकालना है. उसके लिए मेरे पास एक फंक्शन है get day. What is the function? हमारे पास, क्योंकि what is date? Anybody tell me what is date? जो मैंने यहाँ पे date लिखा, what is that? I am using the new keyword. That means I am creating a new object of the date, and that will anonymous. I'm not creating any variable here. It's an anonymous object, okay, without a reference variable. Like for example, if you have, just give me a second. I will open the OneNote to make you understand this thing. Every point understand. Do you understand? And ask me the questions if you have. Don't shy away from asking the questions. That's important. Let me open the OneNote and I will tell you. Why is not Microsoft OneNote opening? It must be open. It's somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Can you see the OneNote? Anyone open up the... Okay, thank you. See, if you have an object of something, the object basically has firstly a template called a class. A class is a template of the object. Like for example, you have an architect, you want to make a house. What do? You go to the architect. It will create on the piece of paper the template of the house. Then you go ahead and you create that house. Whatever your template was telling you, you create exactly that house. But this is like a class and this is like an object. Object is the actual thing, okay? Object is the actual thing, class is only a template. So whatever class you have, they typically have two things in it. They have variables in it and we have the methods, okay, which act on those. We call them methods. The functions are called in object-oriented parlance methods. Keep that thing in mind. So we have variables and methods in the class, and whatever that is, you create that. So in the programming language, we have some class and you want to create the object. Now you have to go in a heap memory. In a heap, that object will be created with all those variables and all those methods. and then you have some reference variable, say for example a, which is pointing to this object in the memory, because you want to access, say for example there was some, say this is called ob, and there are some variables in the object. There was some variables, like for example, class is telling there is variable a, there is variable b, and there is a method called fun, for example. Now this all will be created here. A will be created here, b will be created here, fun will be created here, and this ob is pointing to it. This will be called as reference variable. This is not an object, remember that. This is a reference variable, and reference variable can, now using the reference variable, you can access the a how? ob.a, ob.b, if they are not private. If they are private, then you can't access them. If this is a function which is method which is public, you can access this thing. So you can say ob.fun, and using fun you can access the private variables. This is what we do in the object oriented programming, right? But how you create this object is using the new keyword. So you say for example date class, okay, say d equals to new date. Now this is called as a constructor. If you don't know about the object-oriented programming, I will leave it, the understanding of it. I will just tell you this is the way we create an object. We use a new keyword, then we use the constructor of that object, and we use a reference variable, and we use the class name, whatever the object class name was. And then it create me the object in the heap, okay, like I said, and this d will be pointing to it. But now I'm cutting it short because I don't need d anywhere. I'm just using new date only. So it will again create the object in it, but it will be anonymous. Anonymous means that I'm not having a reference variable with a name, but there is an object, there is a reference. And that reference, which is, we have, that reference we pass it to this guy, this d here. So I don't want to have, either I will say here all things, okay, and create a date object and have the reference variable, then pass reference variable, or you can pass it anonymously, right? Now this date object, if this date object is an object, so that means it can have tons of things in it. One other thing is called get day. One method is called get day, which will return you, if for example it was Monday, it will return 0. Sunday, if it is Sunday, it will return 0. If it is Monday, it will return 1. If it is Tuesday, 2. Similarly, if it is Saturday, today is Saturday, it will return 6. So that means if I call the getDay function or getDay method, the getDay method, whenever there is a class name, you should write it with the capital letter, like we had date. When there is a variable or there is a method, okay, you start with a small letter like this, then next word put up a capital letter like this. It's called as camel casing. I cannot teach you whole programming today, but you need to know all these things, and you have to, आपको पता होगा पहले से ही, जो IT वाले खास कर. This get day, writing this way is called camel casing. This is the programming style. So date और get day आपको इस तरह से मिलेगा, जो कि predefined है, जो आपने नहीं किए वो already वहाँ पे किए हुए हैं JavaScript में. So that means जब मैं इस object को बनाऊंगा using the new date, okay, now इसके अंदर जितनी भी चीज़ें होंगी मैं उसको एक्सेस कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन but I need a reference variable ना, जो इसको point करेगा, जिसमें मैंने object बताया था. Now you have passed that, you can pass that to the function because it is anonymous. Now if you want to call the getDay, you can call it, not a problem. So tell me this thing. So I am saying new date, then I say here dot getDay. Will it work? Anyone tell me, will it work this way? If I am saying new date, because new date जो है उसके अंदर एक method है या function से आप बोलते थे पहले, that's called, उसका नाम है getDay. I want to call that. So can I call it like this? Anyone tell me? Anyone has any ideas? Are you guys with me or not? The way you are responding, it feels me like you are not aware of any kind of program. See, I cannot write like this, but I have to write it like this. Now anyone tell me what's the difference between that? At least now you can tell me what's the difference between that. राइटिंग न्यू डेट और गेट डे एंड वॉट पेरेंट्स से क्या हो गया? पेरेंट्स से प्रायोरिटी